Hi folks, Josie here. I hope you're doing great. Today I would like to share with you how I prepare my chanterelles. It's a type of mushroom, and how to freeze them at the same time. So right now I have some chanterelles on the table. We picked this yesterday and I didn't try and process it right away, because what I usually do is kind of like I leave it on the table, and like it kind of helps with taking off the humidity at the same time. So I just leave it, I left it on the table like overnight, and so that kind of helps the you know, the humidity to go away, and also at the same time some of the dirt is going to be like easy to brush off at the same time. So we did the same thing last year, I remember, and at the same time I think we went like at the end of August. So as you can see, we're only like the last week of July, and we found some, but it's not as much as last year. So let me set the camera and we'll take a closer look of the chanterelles. What I do after I pick the chanterelles, I just have like a little brush and just get that dirt, the main dirt, because I don't really wash them. You're not supposed to wash them, and I never wash them. So you can just get some of that dirt off the chanterelle. That's pretty good, like that. Take another one. Okay. That's good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna finish the rest of the batch that I have here on the table, and then I'll show you the next step. So we're back, folks, and as you can see, I've finished brushing off some of the dirt, and I just want to show you the dirt that I removed from the chanterelles. Now if you are very uncomfortable in doing this inside your home, you can also do it outside, you know. If you don't like those bugs and slugs on your table, that is totally up to you. So that's what this is probably about 5 to 6 pounds that we picked up. Now I remember last year that we had at least 4 to 5 times of that. But one thing that I would like to share with you is I was glad that I went early, like for this year. We're just in July and we had picked up some. It's kind of, in a way, it's an advantage, because when you do started processing this, I should brush off the dirt, and then you have to like I'll show you later, and then you have to prepare it for you to cook it and freeze it. Could be overwhelming. Like last year, I remember Mike helped me, like we passed the whole day just like cleaning this and putting them in small pieces, and at the same time, you know, cooking it all day. I was in the kitchen for almost all afternoon, then freezing it and waiting for the whole process to be done. But it was so worth it. It's just that you know, if you don't want to go through that experience of like doing the whole thing in a day, if you could separate like what we've done today, that is also good. And I remember last year that when I've done the whole thing, it gave me probably 20 small Ziploc bags, which lasted me, by the way, for 10 months. Like, not buying your mushroom for 10 months is pretty good. And I just want to show you quick right here beside me. I just saw it, you know, like I think a few weeks back. This whole bunch here that you see, it's not much. Like, look at my handful, right? So sorry about that, my wash is done. Okay, this handful right here that you see, they were selling this for $7. And I have this. That is my first batch, my first harvest of chanterelle this year. So we are pretty blessed, and just want to tell you that it's expensive, and if you could find this in your woodland, that is such a treasure. So I'll show you the next step. So the next step would be, you see this bowl right here? So you get a piece of chanterelle, and what I do is just the top part there, just slowly pull them apart, get another one, There we go. This will like ensure the even cooking. It will be even when I cook them. You know, about this size here is what I wanted. That's what I did last year. So you just, after you have cleaned them, just slowly pull them like that. Not too thick. There you go. We don't want to leave any water in the mushroom as we cook them later. So I'm just gonna do the whole batch and I'll show you the next step. Alright folks, I have finished processing this by just, you know, pulling them apart into small pieces. That's how I like it. Now we're going to start cooking this. What you're going to need is some oil and butter, salt and pepper. That's it. And if you have like a couple of trays where you can spread this after it was cooked, you know, to let it cool off, that would be great. And also choose whatever type of container you want to use to freeze this. And I know probably that many of you have a dehydrator. That would probably be your best way if you want to do it like quickly. I don't have one, so this is the method that I use so I can have these chanterelles in my freezer. So let's get cooking. Alright folks, so we're back. We're going to start cooking the chanterelles. I took half of the batch that I have and I put it in a pot like this, and I put it in a medium heat. So we're just gonna let the water come out of the chanterelles, and then what we're going to do is discard it after. So now it's boiling. We're gonna just take it from there and go over there on the other side and just drain some of that water. Now you're probably wondering why I just discard some of the water, because last year when I done the chanterelle for the first time, I found that, you know, when you don't remove that water, that woody taste is pretty strong, and I find it overwhelming. So what I did is I done this process, and it's actually a lot better. So if you do that, you just allow your mushrooms to boil a little bit, and as soon as the water is coming out, just discard it right away, just like that. And then this is already ready to go in my frying pan. So just a little few tricks while this thing is I didn't put any butter and oil yet. So while this is in this pan, you know, as you can see, I did not crowd my pan. It's just the perfect amount of mushrooms in there, so that could, you know, easily cook and evenly cook. At the same time, while we're doing that, I have the other one that's cooked there, so it's just like the process just keeps on continues, you know. And on the other side here is my pan. I can continue cooking the other half batch that I have, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now it's just normal that as you cook the mushroom, they turn darker. So from this one right here, that is totally normal, as the mushroom would do. So that's what you're looking for, but this one is not quite done. So here you go folks, this is done. Took me about 5 minutes to cook this in oil and butter. So just get yourself a tray like this. Just put some paper towels. And we're just gonna empty this pan and put all my mushroom there. And just spread that. Takes away some of that liquid too, but at the same time some of the humidity if there is some. So that's how it's going to look like. A little bit darker, as I told you. Cooking all the batch, and this is what it gave me: a tray of cooked chanterelle ready to be put in my Ziploc bags. Now I am using 3 small ones like that. I'm gonna try and divide that evenly into the Ziploc bags. Now remember that I told you a while ago, I mean early in the video, that I it lasted me for 10 months. But you have to remember that it's just me and Mike. And so one bag like that, one small bag like this, I could probably use that like 5 times, depending always on the recipe that you are making. But for me, you know, I just throw in all kinds of dishes, sauté, fried rice, a lot of fried rice, and some of the casserole, or even, you know, in your pizza soups. So salads, this would like whatever, give me maybe 6 times in a bag like this. So that's why I said it lasted me for 10 months. So like in here, I can only make 3 Ziploc bags like that from this batch that I made right here. So folks, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I'm going to try and leave the link of how we pick the chanterelles and what are the things that you have to look for. I'm going to leave Mike's link below, and you can check that as well. I hope that you have find this interesting, and I hope that you will find your own chanterelle in your own woodland. And thank you for watching. I always appreciate all your comments and interactions. And if you do like this video, please share, like, and even comment. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.